So our practice today is standing postures and creating space in our hips. We are going to do some myofascial release with the tennis balls at the end, which will be really nice. We're going to do it on our feet, on our glutes, on our forearms, and our backs, our rhomboids specifically. So that should be really nice, considering we have probably not been having an opportunity to get a massage anymore. So let's just start seated. So if you need to get a cushion underneath your hips, please do that. If you need to get a blanket, whatever you need, and then just come up, seated tall. Place your hands at your heart center and begin to breathe in the center of your body. Just consciously feel where it is. Notice it quietly within yourself. And then I'd like you to imagine yourself outside, overlooking a really calm, let's say, lake or pond. And it's a very, very still day. There's no wind. The surface of the pond is flat and calming. And then I'd like you to imagine that your breath has an effect on the pond as a pebble would. So just as you would throw a pebble upon a lake or a pond, and it creates that ripple and expansion, I want you to imagine your breath can do this as well. So now I'd like you to inhale a little bit more expansively within the body, watching the ripples get wider. And then inhaling even more, watching the ripples get wider until you feel up the entire circumference of your skin. And then stay there for a few breaths. And just feel where you are. This reflection of your breath within the pond or the lake, and the lake within you. And then I'd like you to breathe past your physical body. Go beyond your physical limits of the touch. And expansively grow your breath as big as you can get it, feeling what this does for your connection. And feeling that unification through yoga. I've said this before, but going beyond what you thought once was not in your reach. Good. And then go back quietly to the middle of your body, reeling it back in, starting back with that small breath, that contained breath. And notice what changes. How much your breath truly affects your physical body and how it has a total ripple effect on how you physically feel, emotionally feel, and how you move forward. Open your eyes if they've been closed, please, and lift your arms all the way up. Bring your gaze up. And then exhale, half sun salutation to the center of your hearts. Good, and now we begin. Go ahead and come into tabletop, please. And we're just gonna move really slow, really mindfully. Hands spread out wide, knees under our hips, tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, then send the heart forward, arch the spine, bring the gaze up. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone in. Bring the belly to a rise and the chin comes down. And then reverse it. Inhale, lift, arch. And start taking physical stock of where you are today. Nice and easy, a few more cat-cow. Start taking stock of where you are physically and spiritually. Or maybe things that have changed and shifted in your perspective as you've been home a little bit more than usual. Let's do two more. Maybe coming into your Ujjayi breath. It's going to be a very slow, mindful practice to give yourself time to explore. And then release. Good. Tuck your toes. Lift up slowly, downward dog. And bend the right knee deeply. And just press the hands into the earth. And start with that small, quiet breath in the middle of your back. And then grow larger and larger. Switch legs. Left knee bends. Stretch through the right hip. Grow beyond your skin with your breath. And then both heels reach down. Lift the skin up of your legs to feel it deeper in your hip crease. And with your next exhale, release the knees both down to the mat. Release the chest down to the mat. Release the chin down. Inhale, slide the body weight forward. And just come up for baby cobra, please. And then exhale, push back up, tabletop. And then downward dog. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. We're gonna call these half sun salutations to a baby cobra. And then tabletop to downward dog. 1 more time. Inhale, downward dog. Expand your breath, exhale. Knees, chest, chin, hugging the elbows in, please. To cobra. And tabletop, downward dog. Commit to expanding who you are, where you are. Good. Okay, and then please step the right foot forward between your hands and bring the left knee down. And then just rest. Rest your upper body over your lower body. Bring your gaze down so the neck is soft. Shift your hips slightly forward. And just feel what you've got going on in this right hip crease. And then I want you to lengthen the head just slightly forward. And then I'd like you to push the right heel backwards without actually moving it, just activate it. And then I'd like you to pull the mat towards the front foot with the left knee. So it's like the heel and the knee are reaching towards one another. And just activate the lower body. Feel what this does, especially through your hips. Expand your breath now. Feel this opening within the body, but attachment of the limbs. Release any rage, any fear, and begin to dominate with this sense of calm and peace. Grow your spine up and tall, lift your arms, inhale. And then exhale to the center of your heart. Meet yourself with your breath at the center of your heart. And then exhale, the hands come down. Inhale, squeeze the heel of the knee again towards one another. And then lift up the left knee and shift back, downward dog. Take 3 breaths in downward dog. Nothing too demanding. Just this purpose of arriving, sensing, breathing. Good. Inhale, left foot flat between your hands, right knee comes down. And then rest. Rest your upper body over your left leg. And with every breath, shift how you are. Shift this release. Release your gaze down. Good. And expand your breath. Good. Just hold this piece. And then once you're satisfied, squeeze your knee and your heel towards one another. Good. Feel this new habit today, this dominating energy of peace. And that it's there for you. Good. And then grow your spine. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale to the center of your heart. Meet your breath with the touch of your thumbs. And then exhale, make your way back through tabletop to downward dog, or just right through downward dog. 3 breaths, downward dog. Expand. Feel the contraction and the expansion. Right foot in between your hands. This time, keep the left knee up. Okay, rest for a moment again. Rest on the bottom limbs. Thank yourself for the support of your legs and gratitude of their strength. And then I really want you to start to focus now as you rest here on this front hip. Focus on the external rotation of this right hip, right? So it's right over or in line with this right knee. The right knee is right over the ankle, and it feels nice and strong, all right? So commit to this alignment, and then lift the, bring the left heel down to the ground, left heel down. And then make it parallel with the back of your mat. So the left heel parallel with the back of your mat, and then you're gonna wanna notice that the right hip kind of likes to pop out here. Command it to come back in alignment. To hold that strength and that energy, pause there, and then feel like we were feeling in the low lunge, and I want you to push the right foot forward and push the left heel backward. So it's in an opposite and expansion here. Good. And then I'd like you to lift the left arm all the way up and back, and the right arm up into warrior 2. And then keep pushing those feet apart from one another. And then grow your breath. You're gonna feel a lot deeper of a sensation here. And then I want you to feel like your pelvic starts to spread out. Your SI joints start to expand. One more breath. And then inhale, straighten the right leg. Lift the arms up and over your head. And then recruit the muscles of the hip and come all the way back down, warrior 2. Push the feet away. Again, straighten the right leg, lift the arms, inhale. And contract, come down. Expand your breath, inhale past the physical body. Let yourself be successful and contract. Right hand down to the floor, left heel up, shift back, downward dog. 3 breaths. Hear your breath. Feel your practice. One more inhale. Left foot in between your hands. Pause again. Rest again. Assess yourself without needing to react. This radical transformation of allowing for the pause has a huge impact of how we move forward in our day. Next day, those we come into contact with, it has this beautiful ripple effect of this habit of doing to pausing and then moving forward, right? Okay, bring the right heel down. Bring the right foot down parallel to the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the right arm up and back, warrior 2. The feet go in opposing directions here. And I want you to feel the hips go really wide, right? And then sink. Sink that left hip in line with the left knee and the left second toe. Look back at the right leg. Have it moving away from you, and then you just grow tall through the ribs. And breathe. One more, just like this. Hold space. Good. Shift the left leg straight, arms over your head. Inhale. Grow your breath beyond your skin. Contract to the middle of the body. Exhale, warrior 2. Wherever you breathe, the energy follows. One more inhale. Good. Exhale, warrior 2. Left hand down, right hand down. Right heel up. Shift however you'd like. It can be right knee down, tabletop downward, or just downward dog. 3 breaths, please. Now I'd like you to get wide through your collarbones. Your collarbones are right at the base of your neck. Spread those out. See what that does for the back of your shoulders, and then inhale. One more. And then inhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Good. Bring the left heel down. And then I'd like you to bring the left heel 90 degrees, I'm sorry, the left foot 90 degrees, and then scoop that hip in again. Feel the feet pushing those opposing directions. And then inhale all the way up again, warrior two. Okay, we're just gonna pause here again because this is something we know how to feel and we've been here. And then bring your hands to your hips. And then I'd like you to turn the left toe to point to the front left of your mat. Left toe to the front left point of your mat. And then really push through the edge of the foot. So it's turned in about 45 degrees. And then with your hips, I want you to feel them going in opposite directions. So this right hip is kind of in an external rotation. The left, it's still spreading at the hip joints, but not quite as deep in the external rotation as the right leg. And then lift the arms up, and here's warrior one. Stay low in that hip crease. Feel the spreading of the hip joints. And there's a slight curling in of the tailbone here. Slight. Expand your breath beyond your ribs. And then the next exhale, hands come down, heel lifts, step back, downward dog. The left foot in between your hands. Resting, and then turn the right foot parallel to the back of your mat. Aligning and spreading through the hip bones. Lift up, warrior two. Feel that opposing direction to open up through the ribs, through the hips, through the outsides of your feet. Shoulders relax. Belly in. Good. Okay, here we go. Hands to the hips. Turn the right toe to face the right top corner of your mat. And feel when you do that, it just naturally turns your chest slightly forward, right? Let that indication of where your hips want to go to indicate where your spine goes. And then once you feel that and those hips nice and open up the arms, warrior one. And then allow yourself to arrive into your posture, into your hips. Belly in tight, protect your lower back. Breathe in beyond your ribs, beyond your physical skin. One more. Hands all the way back down. Downward dog. Imagine your breath is so strong in your Ujjayi breath, I hope you can hear mine, that the person in the next room could hear it. And it's also having that ripple effect of calming. Step the right foot forward. Bring the left heel down. And keep the foot 90 degrees. Place the right forearm on the right leg. Swing that right hip in and bring the left hand to your hip. Come into side angle. Feel that opposing action, that spreading of your hips. The front pelvic really reaching a nice expansion. A nice diagonal line from the back of your head through the tailbone and down through the left heel. Get your hip in line with the knee. Lift through the arches of the feet. One more. And then bring the right hand down, bring the left hand down, step back, downward dog. One more breath. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Side angle, left forearm on the left leg, right hand on your hip. Spread. And you can even feel this on your right hip if you grab hold of this bone, this ischium, right? Kind of open it up more. It's almost like you can peel your right hip back a little bit more and get a little deeper into the stretch, right? And then palm is up on the left hand, back is straight, navel is in. Good. Don't collapse on your mid back or your left shoulder. Rise to meet the pose. Good. Left palm down, right fingers down. This time step forward. Get soft knees, please, soft knees. And I'd like you to grab the top of your mat, and I'd like you to roll it up. Roll it up to about halfway. Here. Good. And if you don't have a mat, you can grab a towel, a pillow, anything. Place the right ball of your foot on the top of the mat. The right heel stays down, the left foot is flat. Okay, scoop your belly in, lengthen your spine, and then the crown of the head forward. Feel that in through your right hip, and then release down. And just feel a nice deep stretch behind the right hamstring. 3 full breaths, expand it up into the hip. Play with your hips, with your breath. We're gonna actually stay here 2 more breaths. Good. And then I want you to bring your hands forward of the roll you created so that they're on the fingertips are on the floor. And see if you can even go deeper. Stop holding yourself back. And then lean into that foot. Let the elbows bend. The left knee is bent so you can go lower. Good. And then walk your hands back onto the roll. Step the right foot to meet the left foot. And forward fold. Feel the big difference between the right leg and the left leg. Good. And then step the left ball of your foot on the mat. Okay, before we fold for a while, I want to take a break from forward folding so we don't get a little too loopy. Bring your hands to your hips, scoop your belly in, and lift all the way up to standing. Let your head get screwed on straight again. Lengthen through the spine, and then release, forward fold. Belly in, protect the back. Hands to the roll. Right leg is going to want to go straight here because it's so loose, right? But we really want to focus on the left leg staying straight and then the right. And then play with your hips, play with the fold of your upper body over the lower body. Feel as if you could spread these hip bones out even though you're in a fold. And then hands come off the roll and onto the floor. Don't hold yourself back. Maybe shift your weight forward. Maybe nose comes a little lower or closer. And then hands back onto the roll. Step the left foot off. Feel your feet. Unroll the mat. And walk all the way forward, downward dog. Good. Hands walk all the way forward, downward dog. Feel the newfound freedom in your legs. And then hug the skin, the front part of your skin on your legs, up and into the hips. Pull the ribs together. Hug the arms down or towards the mat. And then bring the right foot flat between your hands. Good. Bring the left heel down. Come parallel to the back of your mat. Hug the right hip in. And then rest again. Your stomach on the top of your right thigh. Okay, now we're going to go for full side angle. So I'd like the right hand on the outside of the right foot, if that is possible for your arms. If not, it can go to the inside of the foot. And then lift the left arm up and over your head. And now you're really going to feel this hugging in of your hips and the spreading of your feet in opposing directions. The right hip coming lower and in line with this external rotation of the right knee. Now find your breath. Stop holding yourself back and maybe come lower. Good. And then bring the left hand down. Lift the left heel up, please step forward. Oh, yeah. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, really fold the upper body over the legs. And then reach with the crown of your head to the floor. Reach with your tailbone to the ceiling. Have this opposing duality, right? And feel how much lower you really are ready to go. Without pushing. Activate your quads now. Pull the skin up on the front of your legs. And then maybe your palms can even flip up because you're so mobile now. Reach with the crown of the head down one more time. And then all the way up, push into your feet, standing on your legs. Hands over your head. And exhale to your heart. Meet your breath at your thumbs physically. Inhale, expand. One more. Hands over your head. Inhale. Find the floor. Exhale. Crown of the head down, tailbone up. Halfway lift. Inhale. Step back, plank pose to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, as we did at the beginning. To cobra or sphinx, and then downward dog. Hug the skin to your bones. Crown of your head to the floor, tailbone to the sky. Here it is again. Just feel how everything is connected. Everything has a ripple effect. Left foot between your hands. Right heel parallel to the back of the mat. Get heavy onto the left thigh, onto the left femur bone. Grow long through the middle of your back. Left hand outside the left foot or inside if that's not accessible for whatever reason. Belly in, support your QL. Right arm up and over your head. Good. Go beyond what you think is possible. Commit to the pose, to the moment, to release barriers, and feel expansion. Feel the tailbone down and the hip bone spreading. Good. Right hand down, downward dog, left foot back. Right foot between your hands flat. Left heel down, parallel to the back of the mat. Get heavy on your thigh. Come up to side angle, we were just here. Come lower than you think is possible, but safe. Release that habit of stopping yourself because you think there are restrictions and there's space for other people to go first. It's your chance. And then from here, I'd like you to straighten, please, the right leg. Get the right hand flat on the ground, if possible, beside the right calf, and find yourself in full triangle pose. Shift the right hip back towards the left heel. Push with the left pinky side of the foot, and breathe. And reach with the crown of the head forward, and the tailbone is going backward. Here's that opposing action again. So those of you who are working on this standing split here, there is a pose where this foot comes up, the right foot, off of the ground, and it goes up, and this comes under, not for today, that's gonna be for the power class later this week, but just a sneak tease. Breathe down the right knee, left hand down, plank pose. Shift back the right leg. And I would like you to stay in plank. Push the floor away and reach the heels back. Dome the body in to pull the ribs in. And then I want you to shift your shoulders slightly ahead of your wrists while keeping the heels active. And from there, lower down to the mat flat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then downward dog. 3 breaths. Now there's a reason why you shift slightly forward in that chaturanga, and I'll explain that the second time we come through it that way. Left foot forward, be feet in hands. Flat, right heel parallel to the back. Rest your belly on your leg. Transform the shape of the body. Lift the right arm up and overhead, side angle. Push with that right foot back. Hug the tailbone back. Reach with the crown of the head forward. Left palm flat if it's there, or tips, and then straighten the left leg. Right arm goes right back up, triangle pose. Right arm is an extension of the right shoulder. Your legs are strong. Your torso is reaching to the front left foot, and the left palm is flat. You guys look great. Listen to that breath, feel it. Good. Left knee bends. Plank again. Step the left leg to meet the right. Push the floor away. Get strong through your shoulders. Pull the navel in. Tailbone reaches back. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then I want you to think of handstand, right? So that's not something you may ever want to do. But let's also, though, activate the muscles as maybe you wanted to know why handstand and chaturangas all work together. Shift your weight forward, your shoulders are over your wrists. That's how you start your handstands, by the way. So push the floor away, shoulders over the wrists, lower down. It's a much stronger move. Inhale, cobra, and downward dog. I have never put that correlation together until I slowed myself down enough yesterday, believe it or not, to feel the activation of the body and the true ripple effect of how one thing leads to another and another. All these little profound aha moments start to make more sense in my mind. And I'd like you to see if you find any aha moments today in yours. Good, step the right foot forward. Bring the left heel down, parallel to the back of the mat. Bring the right fingertips to the top right corner of your mat. And back up a little. Bring the left hand to your hips, scoop the belly in. Feel the stretching of your hips, right, in opposite directions, and we're gonna lift up into Ardha Dhanurjasana or half moon. And feel the same thing you were feeling just moments ago, and flex the left toes towards your knee and feel the spreading of your hip bones. So by really activating the left toes towards your shin, you're allowing for the right hip to hug under so that you have that true external rotation so the right hip doesn't pop out, just like in side angle or warrior 2 or warrior 1. It's the same action. Left arm up, 2 more breaths. Left hand down, left foot beside the right foot. Halfway up, inhale. Forward fold, top of the head to the floor, tailbone up, exhale. All the way up to standing, inhale. Hands to your heart center. Meet your breath. Melt tension in the neck and shoulders. Lift your gaze, lift your arms, inhale. All the way down to the ground. Halfway up, inhale. Step back, plank or downward dog, and make your way. Find your aha moments, these critical pivot points. Soften your jaw. Good. Left foot flat between your hands. Right heel down, parallel to the back. Feel your hip bone, the relationship with the left hip bone and the right hip bone. The right toe, how they're to the side now, it's gonna stay like that, facing kind of towards the knee when you lift it up into half moon. Here we go. Lift it up. Find that relationship with the right leg onto the left leg. And how when you tug gently, that left hip into the hip socket deeper, that left hip is no longer popping out. Right arm opens, 3 more breaths. Good job, Sandy. Laura, Lori, I can see you guys. Good. Good. Right hand down to the top of the mat. Right foot meets the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold, you know what to do. Inhale, standing. And exhale to the middle of your heart. Close your eyes and meet your breath. Meet your breath in that quiet center of your body. And then watch it grow. Just like that pebble, beyond your skin. Beyond your house. And then gaze goes up, arms go up. Down to the floor. Halfway we lift. Down and back we go. Plank or downward dog. But play with that motion of coming ahead of your wrists. 3 more breaths, downward dog. Feel that opposing tailbone, crown of your head. Stretch your hips out. Feel your sit bones, really stretch them out. Notice how that feels in the strength of your legs, the skin of the front of the legs and the hips. And then gently release the knees down to the mat. Lower down to your belly. And then bring your forearms in front of you. So I'm going to start with the right arm. So we did a nice release for the back of the legs. So now we're going to give some love to the front of the legs. So the left forearm is across the front of my chest, and then just bend the right knee up. Reach back with the right hand. Push through the left forearm just to give yourself a little bit of space. And then bring, so at first I grab the inside of my foot, and then I'm going to try to bring the toes into my wrists so my fingertips are pointed to my ankle. And I'm just going to press down. Keep the belly a little active, and I want that heel to come to the glute. And expand your breath just like before. Return. Every time you want to shift elsewhere, return to what you've learned. Transform your energy, and you can transform your biology. Settle in deeper. And then release the foot. Take a breather. And then switch sides. Right arms across. Reaching for the back foot. Fingertips to the wrist or to the ankle. And then push that heel to the glute. And then make a choice here. Does this feel good? Name it. Or are you going back to this feels bad? Saying this feels good. Choose I feel good. And make that your new mantra, your new way of being today. Commit to living in this presence. Your new energy. Or improved upon energy. It's always been there. You just have to turn that faucet on instead. And then release the left foot. Release flat down, forehead on your forearms, and just release your back. Good. Bring your hands under your shoulders, lift up, child's pose. And after a few breaths, I'm going to ask you to grab your tennis ball. So please grab your single tennis ball or golf ball or sock full of rice that you've created. We're pretty darn inventive these days. And we're going to start with our forearms. So you're going to take the ball, place it on the yoga mat, and then you're going to bring your right forearm right close to the bottom of the elbow and bring your weight of your forearm right on top. Okay, so I'm going to shift onto my knees because I'm comfortable there. You can go however you would like. And I want you to just roll. So I'm holding onto my right wrist with my left hand, and I'm just massaging out, maybe even turning at the wrist. And just go for a few breaths there, finding some tender spots through the arm, maybe even circling it out. Discovering how when you hit certain spots, the muscles spasm and talk back to you, just like my 8-year-old twins. Oh, yeah. And then do the other arm. Same thing. Just give both forearms some love. I hope you all can see me. I'll face this way. Is that better? There you go, Kara. And there's that spot. It's like right there for me. I'm gonna call that Leo. And roll it out. Good. Okay, now we're gonna go right and seated. Actually, you know what? Before we get seated, I wanna do a feet. So bring your ball under the right arch of your foot, or you can do it once we get to standing. I'm gonna ask you guys to get up. I know you probably are nice and cozy, but you're gonna go ahead and stand up because this is gonna release the lower back. And just massage right in the arch of that foot. Just for a few paces. So yogis, our feet are pretty darn strong, which has a huge advantage on balancing poses. So it's really nice to relax those out. And it has a huge impact on our backward legs and our spines. Can I do the other foot? So if you've got the golf ball, I know Laura has a golf ball, be gentle. And I think Lori may have to go a little harder. She has a dog chew ball. So some people even do this with a water bottle or frozen water bottle. And you can even stand on it. All right. Okay, so now our feet are done. Okay, you can come all the way back down to the floor. So we're going to place it on the cushioniest part of your right hip to start. And then you're gonna kind of lift up your hips, both of them. So it's like you're using your hands and your ball for gravity here to pull down. Just roll out the knee. I know you all don't want my sound effects, but okay. Let's remind myself, expand your breath, Laura, right? So find that yogi breath to shift from this feels, I don't know, to this feels good. And then explore all of that fleshy part of your body. This feels really good, I'm not gonna lie. It just took me a few minutes to get there. And then rest and bring both knees to the right with the ball still under that flesh and come down to your right forearm. Lift the left knee up. And slowly bring it down. Okay, then add your breath. Inhale. I think I'm sweating more than I did throughout the entire class. 2 more. Actually, let's do this another 2 more times. And 1 more. Oh my dear. And go ahead and come onto your butt. And then bring the left ankle on top of the right quad. Okay, go to the middle part of your butt, but still on the flesh, avoid the bone. And then just roll. Side to side to side. The Karate Kid, right? Forward and back, and just find an area. And then once you find a good spot, then I want you to lay all the way down. Onto your backs. Hands on the floor and grab your mat. And then pick up your foot and lower it. Pick up your foot and lower it. And then push into your foot and roll left and right. Push into your right foot and just roll it out. Wow. Find a spot to pause and breathe. And release. Okay, we're just gonna switch sides. So let's start right here at the number 4. Bring the ball under the middle of the left butt and then roll away. Roll away your tension. So this myofascial release that we're doing right now, myofascial, there's several myofascial lines. Right now we're hitting the deep back line of the body. And these guys, the fascia, they hold memories. I think I spoke about a little bit on Monday. They have tons of nerve endings in them. So make sure you feed yourself with a good mantra here, a feel-good mantra. And create a long-lasting memory that supports your move, your release. Okay, and then hold on to the mat, do the left foot up and down. And then find that tender spot to roll. And then come back to center, right foot on the ground. And lift up to your forearms. Okay, come to the outside of your left hip, but still in that flesh. And roll that out. And now we're going to bring both knees to the left. Find a good spot. Oh, what's a good spot? And lift the right knee up and down. So if this is a trigger point for you, it's probably your whole IT band that is pretty darn tight. And you could do this all the way down to the knee. Well, right above the knee. You don't ever want to go on the knee. And shift, find another good spot. And that'll really help to release through the side of the body. Good. And if there's any last thing you want to do on this side, go for it. Let me get ready. Good. Okay. Now we're going to hit the QL. So it's going to be, make sure I'm appropriate. It's going to be that So there's two squares on the body, and these are your stabilizing muscles, right? So when we just did that half moon pose, you probably felt your stabilizer muscle to help lift up that lifted leg. So I want you to find that spot, and you're gonna lay right on top of it. And you may have to move around until you find it. So it's beneath the ribs, the back ribs. And I hope you can see it's right there for me. And you'll find it, and you're just gonna dig into that a little bit. And then once you find your spot, yeah, you're gonna go left and up with the knees. To the left and up. And then you're gonna walk the left knee to the chest. Actually, just lift the left knee to the chest, up and down. You can straighten the leg out, tick-tock the leg. Just find whatever brings a little release. And then just explore that whole square, that quadrant of the QL. And then when you find a really trigger point, just stop moving and expand your breath. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the right. So find the right QL, move it around. Ooh. Shift your hips left and right. Rocking out, soothing it. So you want to go multiple directions because your tissues aren't linear. They're like tic-tac-toes and zigzags, and they go in different fascia ways. So you really want to get creative with your movement. Just keep breathing. The moment you hold your breath, you lose the impact of length and the impact of relax. So come back to the breath every time, no matter what you're doing, come back to the breath. Lift the right knee up and down. The right leg can go up, tick-tock. Stay soft. Breathe. The knees can go left, to the right and back up. I'm not gonna lie, if this wasn't recorded with you all, I think I'd stay here another 10 minutes on this side because I found a very loud spot. Good. Okay, and then go ahead and move that tennis ball. We've got two more spots. We're gonna hit the rhomboids. So the rhomboids, I'm gonna get a little closer. I'm gonna do them for about 30 seconds each, are right here. So I just wanna get close so you can see. So it's right beneath the top scapular, that bone. Go right beneath there and just lay on that for 30 seconds. And then you can lift them over the arms with that. So I'm gonna lay back down. Okay, I found it pretty darn quickly. Just keep your hips on the ground here. And then this one, I just lift the left arm up, whatever arm you have the ball under. Lift it up. And down. You can also go side to side, but use breath. Inhale. Exhale. You can even kind of hook that left elbow and the right elbow. And turn over to the left. Do whatever you want here. I also like there's a nice one where you just lift the left arm up and circle it, making little circles and then expanding that circle. And then we're gonna do the other side. Another rhomboid. And again, if this feels really good, who says you can't come back and do these when class is over or midday when you need a break? Keep breathing. Melt all of that tension. Make like a yawning exhale. Don't forget your circles, expansion circles. Hooking of the elbow, rolling to the right hip as you do that. And once you're satisfied, go ahead and move the ball. Good job, everyone. Okay, bring your knees to your chest. Meet your breath at the middle. Lift your legs up to the sky. Meet your breath in the middle. Bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Lift your hips up to the sky. Inhale, meet your breath in the middle. Exhale, one vertebrae down at a time, and then lengthen. Shavasana. Close your eyes. Let the arms come to the sides of the body with the palms up. And then start with that breath in the middle of your tummies, your stomachs. A nice quiet breath. And then expand, just like that pebble. Feeling that serenity of that lake, that pond in front of you, and that your breath has that beautiful effect, transforming. Growing that breath beyond your skin, beyond your physical body. Together in this class, we meet each other with our breath, reaching beyond walls and boundaries, and complete support and connection. Feeling really good now, really relaxed now. And just take a quiet moment to yourself. And then with your next breath, return back to the quiet breath in the middle of your body. Bring your knees towards your chest and slowly make your way to one side of the floor. When you're ready, come all the way up to seated. Resting your hands at the center of your heart. Feeling the support you've created for yourself, for your health, for your mind, your spirituality. Thank you for supporting me and watching this together. Namaste. Hope you feel delicious. So, hope you noticed my shirt. I really like it. Isn't it fun? So they're on my website. But thank you for taking my class. I'm going to stop the recording.